There's a pattern in your life you've probably noticed but never named. A hesitation before big decisions. A voice that whispers you're not ready when opportunity knocks. A tendency to play it safe, to shrink back, to let others lead when you know you should step forward. You've blamed yourself for it, called it procrastination, fear, lack of discipline. But what if I told you it's not really yours? What if the weakness you carry was inherited, passed down like brown eyes or a crooked smile? Your father gave you more than his last name. Think back to your childhood. Not the Instagram version, not the stories you tell at dinner. Parties, the real one. What did you see when you watched him? Did you see a man who chased his dreams, or one who talked about them over beers and never moved? Did you see someone who stood tall when life pushed back, or someone who bent, broke, apologized for taking up space? Children don't learn from lectures, they learn from observation. You watched everything, absorbed everything, even when you didn't know you were learning. The way he handled conflict, the way he spoke to your mother, the way he carried himself when bills piled up, or bosses yelled, or friends let him down. If he was weak, you learned weakness. Not because he taught it deliberately, but because you marinated in it for 18 years. Maybe he was the type who never finished anything. Started businesses that fizzled out, hobbies he abandoned after a month, promises he couldn't keep. You learned that starting is optional and quitting is inevitable. You learned that dreams are just pretty thoughts, not destinations you actually reach. Or maybe he was angry, always blaming someone else. The government, his boss, your mother, bad luck. Never his fault, never his responsibility. You learned to be a victim to two-point fingers, to believe the world happens to you instead of being shaped by you. Perhaps he was absent. Physically there, but emotionally gone, hiding behind newspapers and television screens. Too tired or too distant to really see you. You learned that connection is uncomfortable, that vulnerability is weakness, that it's safer to be alone, even when you're surrounded by people. Or maybe he was scared. You could feel it radiating off him, even if he never said it out loud. Scared of risk, scared of change, scared of what people thought. He stayed in jobs he hated, relationships that drained him, a life that felt like slow suffocation. You learned that security matters more than happiness, that cages are safer than open skies, that wanting more makes you ungrateful. Here's what breaks my heart. He probably didn't mean to do it. He probably loved you in his own broken way. He probably did his best with the tools he had, which weren't many because his father gave him nothing either. This pain runs deeper than one generation. It's ancestral. A legacy of men who were never taught how to be strong, passing their confusion and fear down the line, like a cursed heirloom. But here's the thing about inherited weakness. It feels like truth when it's really just programming. That voice telling you to stay small, that's not wisdom. That's his fear speaking through your mouth. That instinct to avoid confrontation, to people please, to never rock the boat. That's not maturity. That's his survival strategy from a life you don't have to live anymore. You are not him. This is the sentence you need to tattoo on your soul. You are not destined to repeat his patterns, carry his limitations, or live out his unlived life. The script was written for you, yes, but you're holding the pen now. Recognizing this pattern isn't about blame. Your father was likely doing the best he could with wounds he didn't know how to heal. This is about breaking the chain. About looking at the weak parts of yourself with honest eyes and asking, is this really me, or is this what I learned? Because once you see it, you can change it. Once you name the inheritance, you can reject it. Strength isn't about being loud or aggressive or dominating others. Real strength is facing yourself without flinching. It's looking at your father's failures and saying, I love you, but I'm not carrying this anymore. It's choosing courage when every instinct screams for safety. It's building yourself into the man he couldn't be, not out of spite, but out of necessity. Start small. Notice when his voice comes up. When you're about to decline an opportunity because it feels too risky. Ask yourself, am I actually not ready, or am I repeating his script? When you're about to avoid a difficult conversation, stop. Ask yourself, am I keeping the peace, Or am I keeping his pattern? Every time you choose differently, you break the chain a little more. Every time you step forward, instead of shrinking back, you rewrite the story. Every time you finish what you start, speak your truth, take responsibility. Risk connection. You become the man he could unteach you to be because he didn't know how himself. This is your life. Not his shadow, not his fear. Not his unlived potential, haunting you like a ghost. Yours. You get to be strong, even if he was weak. You get to win, even if he lost. You get to fly, even if he never left the ground. The weakness you feel. It's not your destiny. It's just where you started. And where you're going is entirely up to you. So stop blaming yourself for carrying his weight. And stop letting him even unconsciously hold you back. Forgive him if you can. Understand him if you must. But don't become him. Be the father your children won't have to recover from. Be the man you needed when you were young. Be strong, not because it's easy, but because the alternative is living someone else's life while your own waits. Patient and hungry, for you to finally claim it. You are not weak because of your father. You were made weak by him. And what was made can be unmade. The question is, are you ready to build yourself new?